Well, guys, in these videos, you guys are going to see, I videotaped them a while back, so this is just an intro. They were done a while ago. Grandpa D is running. Everything is put back together. His inner fender well's done. Brakes have been bled. Everything's good to go, and drove him around a couple times, and he's doing great. So he sits kind of funny, though. You guys can see that back end sitting up high. I got to put in the rear trailing arms now, do that conversion from the lease rings. So that's the next thing to be done. But right now I'm working on the max jacks and getting those going. So this video series, enjoy me putting him all back together, driving around a little bit, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Okay, so as you can see in the previous video, the end of the starter, the mini starter, isn't coming out. It's supposed to, it is out right now. I took a screwdriver and I put it back underneath, tried it, and I burned myself in the exhaust pipe here. And you can move out the gears, which you're supposed to do. From what I understand, they come out, they get the flywheel, get the engine going, and then they go back in. Well, right now, they're just spinning. It's not coming out and engaging, but when I pull it out, it stays out. I can start the car and it goes back in, but then when you shut the car off, it doesn't come back out again. So it just spins. So I have to go through YouTube and try to figure out what's going on. But that's the issue I'm having. But Grandpa D starts, which is fantastic. I just have to find out what's going on. The mini starter worked really good, at least to get it started, but I don't want to have to get under him every time and pull out the gear mechanism to get it moving. So back to you. Okay, guys, so even though I got Grandpa D started, I did run into some problems with the starter. The Bendix, which moves the pinion out, which is the little gear on the end here. I'm learning this because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. So when the Bendix engages, it pushes this little gear, which is the pinion, out. And that's what engages your flywheel. Well, I had originally pulled this out to make sure I had clearances, and I had originally pulled the pinion out because I wanted to make sure I had the correct clearance and it was set up with the flywheel and the teeth were engaging and all that good stuff. So it was out when I originally started it. Because the Bendix had pushed it out, had pushed the pinion out, it was running just fine. I started the engine, everything was great. Bendix worked, pinion came back in, it was great. When I tried to start it again, pinion would spin, Bendix would not push. It's like a little lever, it would not push the pinion, the gear out. So I'm going, why is this just spinning? Just spin, spin, spin. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos. The instructions from Summit, I lost the paper, couldn't find it. I've looked everywhere for the stupid thing. So I watched this really good YouTube video. I've talked about it before. I'll include it down below. This gentleman was working on his C10, and his video was the one that I used to do the remote solenoid on it. And I just messed up. I put the battery cable on the outer bolt, so on this, so coming from the battery into the solenoid, and then it went in, then it was going to this post right here. It needs to go to this post, the inner post right here, the one that has the jumper cable on it. So let me show you guys how this is working. So I have my battery hooked up, I have it grounded. Remember that this block here, this aluminum block, is actually your grounding for your starter. So you want to make sure that it's really clean and that the bottom of your engine block is also really clean, so that when they are bolted up together, they have a really good ground. So let me show you guys how this is working here. So I hope I can get this so you guys can see the pinion move. So I'm going to go to the way I had it hooked up. So this is how I had it hooked up right here. So let me get a good connection here. Okay, so watch the pinion. See it spinning? All right, now I'm going to go to the external. This is the one that moves the Bendix. Okay, so not external, but the one to the far left that has the jumper cable on it. So see it come out? That's what it should do. So you want to go to, when you're using one of these mini starters, after you put your jumper in, you want to make sure that your battery cable is coming to the left-hand side post. Okay, because if you just go to the right-hand side, it's just going to spin the pinion. The Bindex itself will not pop out, okay, and it won't work. All right, so you want to make sure that you're going to the left-hand side. I didn't know that, so we're learning. I guess that's the hot rod for me. So, starter's working. Started up Grandpa D yesterday, got him going. Today I'm gonna go, hopefully this is the last thing I have to do, and then I can start driving him around. I'll put in the fender well, inner fender well on that side, and then button up the bottom. But valve cover gaskets are leaking. Valve cover gaskets I bought, I believe, are for a machined head. So I've talked about this before in other videos, but the head itself, the sealing surface, top of the head is convex, it's rounded, whereas I think the newer ones are machined flat, and I think that's what the Felpro gasket that I got was for. So now I understand why they used cork, because with these rounded surfaces for the head that goes around the edge, that goes around, when it gets pitted, it's pretty hard to stop oil from getting through there unless you have something that's malleable, pliable, you know, that you can push down. So I do have a cork and I think it's cork and rubber Felpro gasket, but I also did buy these right here. These are Edelbrock. I went online and watched some people, and I'm hoping these work. These are, it's a dual, here you go. It's dual, it says it has a composite core for durability, and then the outer layer is optimal for sealing those types of heads, or this type of surface, I'm hoping. So the one thing I did notice with these though on reviews and things I saw is they're much thicker than the regular valve cover gaskets, but that's fine because I created my own studs for it. Remember, I use all thread, I showed you guys on the video. So I will be pulling the valve covers off and putting those on, and then yeah, should be hopefully leak free. Hopefully, crossing fingers and toes. All right, so let's see how this. So here's those valve cover gaskets I was talking about from Edelbrock. You can see they're kind of sticky. On the outside, it's got this kind of just soft and almost tar-like, but it's not sticky like tar, but it has, anyway, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm hoping that these go down, press down, and form a good seal, but they are much thicker, right, than your regular valve cover gaskets. So, all right, let's hope this works. Guys, so this is what I was talking about. So these are the gaskets that I had on, and looks like they'd be really good if they were adhering to, or if they were trying to seal out a flat surface, because of the ridges that they have here. And if it's sitting on a flat surface, I think that would form a real, oops, sorry, it's hard for you guys to see that there, back out. I think they'd form a really good seal, you know, and especially having the little metal stops in it here so that you don't compress it too much. Now the other, sorry, here are the Edelbrocks, and see, they're a lot thicker and they're very malleable. Now, this is what I was talking about with the convex. So you guys can see this isn't flat. It's rounded or beveled, convex, whatever you want to call it. And see right here, see all the little pitting? And I don't know if that's manufacturer, because of the manufacturing, they just pump these guys out, or if it's just over time, but you can see like that. So you can see like, right, let's see if I can find it right here. If you guys look down there, you guys can see there's a little pitted spot, and there's more along the back edge there of the pitting, and it's just hard to create a good seal, you know, when you've got all these imperfections and it's not completely flat. So I'm hoping that these Edelbrocks go down pretty good and they seal. So we'll give these guys a shot and see how it works. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference between the two. These Edelbrock valve cover gaskets require you to actually clean the valve cover, so make sure use a little bit of your brake clean on a little rag and clean it really good. Then you apply this stuff. It's called Gaskets. So I had no idea what this is. Looked it up on Google, and it's an Edelbrock valve cover gasket, RTV, I guess you'd say. It comes in a bottle with a brush-up form. I don't have that. I do have RTV, Permatex RTV, so I'm going to be using that. But you put it on the valve cover, do not seal the valve cover side, and then yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So you do not put sealant on the gasket side that mounts to the cylinder head. In other words, you don't put it on that beveled edge or the back side of the gasket. You're going to put it only on this side of the gasket right here, or on the valve cover itself, right? It's on that side of the gasket. So put your RTV on. You don't have to put a lot on. Just put it on, then smear it with your finger, make sure it's good. I've got one over there. I clamp it down. So when I put it on, I clamp it down, and I use any area that looks like it might be lifting up a little bit. I'll use the old valve cover metal pieces that go to spread the weight, just so that I can push down and hold it. And then you're supposed to let it sit on there for about 30 minutes and seal, and then it should be good to go. I hope I put enough on that one. I might have gone a little too light with it, so we shall see. So these are the header gaskets I ended up using. They came with the Headman headers that I got, the shorties I got from Summit, and they're part number 27560. Just, yeah, and he's quiet. He's all right. So had to put in new valve cover gasket, or not valve cover, I'm sorry. I did the valve cover gasket, put in new header gaskets, and we don't have an exhaust leak anymore. Listen, it sounds nice and quiet. Still have some smoke coming off the header wrap, but got rid of that ticking, so sounds good, running well. Time to take them around the block and see how the front suspension's working out. Got the inner fender well put in, everything's dialed in, the starter's working perfectly. Oh my gosh, guys. It's a big deal. So I didn't video it, but all day I just spent taking off the headers, and I just take the other gaskets that I had on the headers. I had taken on and off so many times, they were just toast. So I put these new ones on, and yeah, seems to be going good. I'm probably going to get another fuel filter, a new one, put it on it, and it should be good to go. A little bit of smoke coming off of the header wrap. Let me grab my wife and go for a little drive around the block. Yeah. All right, guys and gals, front end's done. I know it looks goofy with the back end sitting up like that, but I have to have the rear end rebuilt, and then I have to take the bed off to do the leaf spring to trailing arm swap, and then I can put the street grip rear suspension on. But guys, it's done. 10 months, front end completely done. Should it take you this long to put on a street grip? Absolutely not. Did I add a lot of extra things while I was doing it? Absolutely. So new rotors, new calipers, body bushings throughout, welded up and repainted into fender wells, put on the headers, had them powder coated, wrapped, the headers, put on the new starter, put on, hold on just a sec, guys, if I can do this with one hand here. Oh, maybe, there we go. All right, sounds nice and quiet, everything's running well, it looks good. I love the way it looks underneath. I really like the way it turned out. No leaks. The oil pan gasket though, I say no leaks, but I think there's a little bit of oil I saw when I was putting in the transmission or the flywheel pan that goes up underneath the flywheel to keep it safe, or at least keep contaminants from getting into it. But yeah, when I looked up there, I thought I might have seen a little bit of a drip. It looked like there might have been, but it might have been residual. I don't know. But right now, it's not dripping. Transmission seems to be working a lot better now that it has all of its quarts in. I believe it was 6 or 7 quarts that I put in. Completely redid the master cylinder and the booster. Painted them, got that all done. I'm super stoked. Whole suspension's in. Can't see much from here, but get down here. See the Fox shocks. Here, that exhaust. Oh, guys, I am loving this. I am loving this. I can't wait to get the rear done now. So, but before I do that, I got to get the max jacks put up so I can start doing some work on my dad's 55. But it's just nice to have a running vehicle. I really like this suspension. I haven't driven it a lot, just around a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of, it sounds like a squeak or a hit, but I think that's because these are 15-inch tires and I think it requires 17-inch. I've talked to you guys about that on the previous videos with the drop spindles, the CPP drop spindles that are underneath it. But, well, anyways, guys, that's it. We're done with Grandpa D for this part. I might do some little things on the inside. I've got some those little chrome seals that go down on the bottom for where the carpet meets the outside. I've got to put those on, and just some other things. Might put a carpet kit in and stuff like that. But as far as like big work, until I get some other things done, he's going to be like this until I can get the max jacks taken care of and some other stuff. So yeah, all right. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you guys in the next video. We did it.